What's up guys, today we'll be going over 5 perks that aren't very much so in the meta currently that will shoot up to one of the best perks in the game in Shadowkeep, and that is for multiple different reasons, including the removal of auto reloading in Luna and Rally Barricades, then also just needing more damage output overall. So to make it onto this list, it has to be a perk that isn't necessarily like amazing as is. I could obviously put like Rampage on this list, but that would be kind of pointless. Also, this list is in no exact order, it's just kind of random. The first one will be probably the most important, but besides that, they're all pretty equally important. So first will be Field Prep, which is a perk that can come on a lot of different types of weapons in the game that increases ammo reserves, faster reload, stow, and ready when crouching. And this perk has been used in the past when it was pretty much the only good perk in that slot for the extra ammo. But the reloading and all that stuff while crouching was pretty much never used because of auto reloading in the game. So first, looking at the increase to ammo reserves, without it I hold 17 with this sniper. Now with Field Prep on the sniper I hold 24 now, which is a huge increase of 40% more ammo, which is quite a lot and really helps your sustained damage. Now with 2 sniper reserves and Field Prep I hold 28, which is a lot of ammo. And in Shadowkeep this will help with your total damage output, which will be more important than ever with, lowered buffs and debuffs in the game, which means, we're not going to be melting bosses as quickly, we're going to be going to multiple phases on bosses, so having more ammo will be very big in Shadowkeep. And this perk also increases reload speed. So as you see, with no other reload based perks on this weapon, testing the base reload speed on Beloved, it is going to be roughly 3.183 seconds. Now go ahead and crouch and do the same test again and see the increase to the reload speed. It now takes 1.867 seconds, which is 40% reduction in reload speed, which is a huge change, just like the ammo reserves. And if you throw on a sniper loader on top of this, you see it pretty much is already capped. It is now 0.1 second quicker, which is still a little bit quicker, but it's pretty much already at the cap. And as mentioned, this comes on all kinds of different weapons in the game, including grenade launchers. For example, this one, which is the Forge one from Black Armory. So in Shadowkeep, you're going to be dropping a well or being a bubble, and you're just going to be able to, shoot off all of it while crouching and be able to reload very quickly. And that will increase your DPS by minimizing your reload speed, and also, increase your total damage output with that increase the total ammo reserves. And this also comes on shotguns and things like that. For example, Badlander, which is a 140. And before in a previous video I said shotguns are going to be worse because once you empty the mag, you're going to be shooting once at a time, and you see this kind of helps with that and will increase that damage once you already shoot your first mag off. The second spot on this list will be actually 2 perks, Triple Tap, then also 4th times the Charm. And they're both pretty similar perks that work in 2 different ways. 4th times the Charm is every 4 precision shots returns 2 to the mag, and Triple Tap is every 3 returns 1. One is more efficient than the other, but one is also easier to proc than the other, so we'll explain that as we show it off here in a second. But both of these snipers will have a 7 magazine with extended mag and also a backup mag mod on the weapons. So first with Triple Tap, you'll be able to shoot 10 straight per mag, and remember, Triple Tap and 4th times the Charm creates ammo out of thin air, so you're actually getting 3 shots for free per mag with Triple Tap on this sniper. So not only does that increase your DPS because you don't have to reload it as often, it's also increasing your total damage output by giving you more ammo. Now with the 4th times the Charm perk, now it's going to be every 4 returns 2, which means I can now shoot 11 with a 7 magazine, which means every magazine I'm getting 4 ammo for free out of thin air. So this perk is technically slightly better than Triple Tap, but it's harder to proc. If you miss one of the shots every 4, you're not going to proc it. So there's definitely more risk to this perk compared to Triple Tap, but if it's optimized, it's going to be 1 more ammo per mag, then also 1 more free bullet for your total damage output. Either way, both perks are really good and are definitely be top of the meta in Shadowkeep, and it just might come down to which sniper has which, because most snipers don't have both. Next is going to be an honorable mention Multikillclip, and the reason this is honorable mention and not actually on the list is because you can technically say it's part of the meta right now, so nothing's really going to change in Shadowkeep. It's just going to be as good as it is, but I think it's going to be more important in Shadowkeep than it is currently for a weird reason. With that 50% nerf to all precision damage versus minors, the extra damage that Multikillclip gives you compared to something like Rampage might be actually pretty important. So right now, Rampage times 3 is 65%, and Multikillclip times 3 is 100% increase to your damage. And right now, that's kind of overkill. You pretty much one-shot everything as is with Rampage, so that extra 35% damage is pretty much useless, so why reload when you can just use Rampage? But in Shadowkeep, with that nerf to precision damage, that extra 35% damage might actually be needed to one-shot a lot of lanes in the game, so that's why this is going to be on the list. Third perk will be Rapid Hit, which is a lot like Field Prep, but pretty much only for snipers and also doesn't give you the ammo reserves. But at the same time, not every sniper in the game can get Field Prep, so Rapid Hit would be a good replacement on certain snipers that can't get Field Prep. So looking at the reload speed difference between rapid hit and field prep, first with rapid hit on this Vanguard sniper, then field prep once again on Beloved, and they pretty much have the same base reload. Beloved might be slightly quicker, but rapid hit stacks up to ×5 as you see right here. And then go ahead and test the reload speed with ×5. It takes 1.717 seconds, which is the cap to reload on that weapon. Then once again with field prep on Beloved, it's 1.85 seconds, so rapid hit is slightly quicker, but they're pretty much both at the reload cap already, which, by the way, probably should be removed in Shadowkeep. Next up on the list at the number 4 spot will be Firing Line, which is only on one weapon in the entire game right now, Sole Survivor, and this perk is pretty much the new box breathing after box breathing was nerfed, 65,000 times. And what Firing Line does is this weapon deals increased precision damage when near 2 or more allies, and pairs really well with triple tap on the Sole Survivor, and it probably is one of the best snipers in the game because it's free damage. So without it I hit 58,000, now with 2 allies nearby I hit 72,000, which is 25% more damage, which once again is pretty much the only damage increase on snipers that you can actually use versus bosses. I'm hoping this perk is on more snipers in Shadowkeep, not just the one, but go ahead and grind out Reckoning for this sniper because it's probably going to be the top of the meta in Shadowkeep. Our second honorable mention will be Subsistence, which is getting buffed. Those partially reload the magazine from reserves, but reserves capacity is reduced. And the buff to this perk will be decreasing that impact on the reserves that it has currently. And right now it pretty much cuts your ammo in like a third. So with hand cannons, I only have like 40-ish ammo in my reserves. But at the trade-off that I pretty much never have to reload as long as I'm getting kills like every 4 shots, which with a hand cannon is very easy. So the reason this is an honorable mention is because it will be a very good perk in Shadowkeep, but not necessarily like a must-have perk. It's not that I have too much advantage over, something like Rapid Hit or Outlaw. Those perks pretty much do the same thing to the same extent for the most part. Having that 1-second reload every once in a while during downtime isn't really that big of a deal. Also, this perk doesn't pair well with something like Multikillclip or Killclip, and that's another reason why it won't be, god tier in Shadowkeep. It'll definitely be very useful and pair very well with Rampage. But like we mentioned earlier in the video, a perk like Multikillclip might be better than Rampage in Shadowkeep, so pairing that with this perk wouldn't work very well at all. And finally, the last perk on this list will be Auto-Loading Holster. The holstered weapon is automatically reloaded after a short period of time. And this perk has been a lot like Field Prep so far in Destiny 2, where if it's the best thing in the slot, go ahead and use it, but it's not necessarily like, that big of a deal. And when this perk first came out in King's Fall, it was called Cocoon, and it was only on the raid weapons, and it became kind of like a meta overnight, but the issue was King's Fall's weapons weren't necessarily that great for DPS. But the theory is you use the entire weapon until you're out, you swap to another weapon, shoot it, then once you hear that reload on the first weapon, you go back to it. So pretty much in this clip, I'm using Wendigo, which has the perk on it, and will probably be one of the best GLs for a while until you get, a 150 with the perk on it. But all I'm doing is shooting all the ammo, swapping to my sniper once I run out. Then once I hear Wendigo reload, it makes a little noise, I swap right back. So I'm pretty much shooting Wendigo non-stop, kind of like it was before right now with, Lunafaction boots, but with sniper in between. And this creates very little downtime on your DPS using this strategy, and you can also do 2 auto-loading holster weapons at the same time, for example something like a shotgun, and you literally never have to reload, you just swap back and forth between the 2. Once you're out of ammo with one, you swap to the other, and back and forth over and over again, and by the time you get back to the original one, it will reload for you, and it's this pretty much never ending cycle, and this strategy will be one of the best DPS strategies in Shadowkeep. Anyways, that is my list of perks that will be very good in Shadowkeep that aren't currently, top tier meta picks, and as you see, a lot of them are sniper based, which I believe will be pretty much the best special weapon to use in Shadowkeep because they have really good sustained damage and their DPS really isn't affected by reload that much because you can shoot 10 or 11 shots straight with triple tap or 4 times the charm. Also, they're getting a 20% buff versus majors and things like that, so they're pretty much the only special getting better in Shadowkeep while everything else is going to be pretty much getting worse. So that's why a lot of these perks are sniper based perks. Then pretty much all the other ones are reload based perks, which will decrease your downtime from reloading during damage phases and things like that. Well, in these upcoming days, I'm going to be breaking down different DPS techniques for Shadowkeep. For example, the auto loading, switching back and forth thing and stuff like that. So I definitely have another video further breaking down these concepts. But anyways, those are my picks for perks that are going to be god tier in Shadowkeep. Let me know if I missed anything and if you think there's other perks that should be on this list too. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.